Hi, third grade. Mrs. Novak here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use restate, answer, and explain to answer a question. You might remember in second grade that you used restate, answer, and in third grade we add the additional piece, which is explaining your answer. So let's dive in. The first part is restate. Restate means restate the question and turn it into a statement. To do that, you might have to delete some words. You want to delete who, what, when, where, why, how, do, and any does or question mark words. And then you might have to add some stuff to make it make sense. You might have to add because, by, is, are. You might have to change some singular or plural. You might have to change the verb tense. So you're going to have to move things around to make it make sense at that step. Let's look at what that looks like. So here's a question. It talks about the citizens of Fargo. We read a story about the citizens of Fargo and how they responded to the possibility of a flood. So this question says, the citizens of Fargo paid attention to the National Weather Service's predictions. What does this tell you about the people of Fargo? So let's look at what restating would look like. And this is an example of a question that also has a statement and a question. You want to use both, and I will show you what to do. So when I look at this, I see how I want to write it, but there's some parts I'm not going to need. I want to talk about how paying attention to the National Weather Services tells me about the people of Fargo. So I don't need this. So I'm going to delete the citizens of Fargo. And I want my sentence to start with paying attention to the National Weather Service's predictions. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. So I'm changing paid into paying. Paying attention to the National Weather Service's predictions. I'm going to get rid of this period. I don't need that. I see a what word right here. I'm going to get rid of this what word. I see a do or does word. I'm going to get rid of that. And let's see what I have so far and see if it makes sense. Paying attention to the National Weather Service's prediction. This tells you about the people of Fargo. That doesn't really make sense. I feel like I need to delete some more. Right here, it sounded weird when I said this tells you. If I'm answering it, I'm going to have to change you to me. And I don't need this, so I'm going to get rid of it. And tell, I'm going to have to change the tense to it, so it says tells. Let's see what it sounds like now. Paying attention to the National Weather Service's prediction tells me about the people of Fargo. I don't think I need about, so I'm going to delete that word as well. Now I have paying attention to the National Weather Service's predictions tells me the people of Fargo. I feel like that lends itself to the answer, and that's restate. So I'm going to write this all down for my restate. And I'm going to use the color pink to show you that this is my restate, okay? So I'm going to copy all this up here that I tore apart and put together. Paying attention to the National Weather Services. I'm capitalizing National Weather Services because it's the name of an organization. I'm not capitalizing the word prediction though, because that is kind of a verb, right? Yeah. Paying attention to the National Weather Service's prediction tells me the people of Fargo. Ooh, you guys, I don't need that question mark. let's delete it. I'm not writing a question anymore, so I'm also deleting that question mark because I don't need it. Okay, I think I'm ready for the answer. I'm going to use purple to answer the question. So if I was in a city and I had a tendency to have floods all the time, which is something we read about when we read this story in our reading groups, right? We talked about how this area floods constantly. And the city of Fargo is known for having floods. And they were really prepared, right? They built all those sandbags and left all these barricades everywhere. And that is information that I have from the text, but I had to read that text to remember all that. So now that I look at how this question's being asked, I can tell that if I was a citizen of Fargo, I would pay attention to the weather very closely because I would be concerned whether or not it would be flooding. So I think it tells me that the people of Fargo take the possibility of a flood very seriously. So I'm going to write that as my answer in purple. The people of Fargo take the possibility of a flood very seriously. Period. Now I'm not done. I did restate answer, and now I need to explain my answer. My answer is that they take the possibility of a flood very seriously. What I mean by that is that they want to help protect their citizens, their homes, their businesses, and their streets. That seems like why it would be so serious to them. They want to protect their people and their area. So I'm going to explain that here. I'm going to say they take this seriously. I can use the pronoun. I don't have to say the people every time. I'm going to say they take this seriously because they want to help protect. It's my key verb here. Protect their, Their, citizens. So that's the people, comma. I'm going to make a list here. Their homes, comma. Businesses, comma, and streets. Period. Wow. So now that additional part as a third grader is that explain. Make sure that every time you answer a question that you're doing all three parts. Even if there are three questions on one part of a question, that means you're doing it 3 times. You have to answer it every single time using restate, answer, and explain. Have a good one. Bye.